This village in Italy has been drawn out of obscurity by its ties with Pope Francis. Porta Comaro Stazione, population 275, most of them farmers and labourers, is barely more than a hamlet in the northern Piedmont region, straddling a highway. On Sunday, churchgoers here were happy to show us photos taken with the new Bishop of Rome. The Argentinian-born Cardinal Bergoglio, promoted to pontiff, traces his roots to this place. It's where his father's family came from, and where his cousins still live. They're still catching their breath after this unexpected turn of events. The Lord has given us a great blessing, says this relative. We might not even be worthy of it. Another relative says when the conclave was being held, I was doing household chores, and then I heard his name announced. I was very moved by it. I couldn't talk for 5 minutes. I was rooted to the spot in front of the television. All of a sudden it came to me I should say a prayer for him. Everyone in the village has been getting ready to travel to Vatican City for this Tuesday's enthronement ceremony. After that, they hope to welcome the Pope here. The mayor of the community of Asti, of which Porta Comaro Stazione forms a part, is optimistic. He says we invited him when he was just the Cardinal of Buenos Aires, coming to take part in the conclave. But now we'd be happy if he could come in 2015, when we'll be celebrating the bicentenary of St. John Bosco, founder of the Society of St. Francis of Sales. We'd be overjoyed to have that recognition for a saint who came from here and who did so much good in the world, for the Church and for lay people alike. The teachings of that order are universal. Our correspondent says the village surroundings are robed in white like the Pope. The Bergoglio family is observing Francis with love and pride. Porta Comaro Stazione, a few kilometers from Asti, looks forward expectantly to seeing the son who went so far. Among those celebrating are Orazio and Graciela Cafaralti, immigrants from Argentina to the city of Turin. Graciela says his election was a complete surprise. When we heard the news, we got quite emotional, my husband especially. Next stop, Rome. The son of Italian immigrants was born in the Flores quarter of Buenos Aires in 1936. Jorge Mario Bergoglio was ordained in 1969. When he was 32. Beginning as a simple Jesuit priest, and known for his strong social conscience and service to the poor, he became Archbishop of Argentina's capital in 1998. He didn't take the palace residence, but stayed living in an ordinary apartment. Pope John Paul II made him a cardinal in 2001. At the time when Argentina was going through a real financial and economic crisis. He denounced rampant capitalism as having robbed millions of his countrymen. The next year, Mariangela Cotto, then a member of the Piedmont regional government in Italy, met Bergoglio in Buenos Aires. She remembers it well today, back in her region. She says, during the Mass, we heard noise coming from outside, a demonstration by women saying they had no food to cook. There was a moment of worry, and someone wanted to close the church doors to keep them out. But the cardinal interrupted the Mass to insist, the church will not close its doors, leave them wide open. If they come in, we'll listen to them. She goes on saying it was a moving encounter, all the more so because I had brought him a bottle of red wine made from grapes grown on vines that had been his father's. He was touched by the gesture and recalled his origins in Asti. When he welcomed us in his own apartment, we were around 15 people in the group instead of an expected 5. He got chairs for everyone himself, even when we offered to help. He said, I do everything on my own. When we sat down at last, he smiled a big smile and said, let's speak in Piedmont dialect.